Monday, May 19th, here on the Just Baseball Show. You got Jack McMullen. I am Peter Applejack. Get those fingers ready because it's time for the weekend roundup where we go through every game that was from the past weekend. And this weekend was a little bit special rivalry weekend. And you expect with some rivals that there would be some back and forth series. We had 7 sweeps this weekend, dude.
Did we really? That didn't,
7.
yeah, that didn't compute for me. Seven sweeps is a lot.
We tweeted it out, and even though I literally did the weekend roundup, all of the notes, I didn't even realize that. Watching it all weekend, it didn't feel like there was 7 sweeps, but at the same time, there was 7 sweeps. And we're going to talk about it, and it's all brought to us by the sportsbook born in Vegas. That is BetMGM. Remember, folks, download BetMGM, whether it be on iOS or Android, and use promo code JustBaseball when you sign up. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. But remember, gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply. I have to ask you one favor. One favor before we begin. Since I'm
Yes.
recapping all 15 series, there's a lot of names, there's a lot of words. Don't make fun of me if I mess one up, please.
I'll give you grace. Yeah, we're
Thank you.
good.
I get one though. Like if I start kind of being an idiot, please correct me because
Yeah, but like at what point? Like on the fourth screw up, do I interject? On the
second,
seventh screw up? Second?
second, and if you could let me know, just hey Peter, it's this one, but say it really nice, say it really kind, and just be like,
Brother,
next one I'm gonna be an asshole to you,
brother,
like
you
you
look more
normally are.
handsome than you have in a long time. And by the way, it's Geloff.
I'll take it, even in my
Okay.
mint shirt. I look kind of like a loser right now in a mint shirt, but it's the only thing I had clean.
No, brother, you look handsome.
All
Let's
right,
do
we'll
it.
take
And,
it.
and I appreciate you doing this. We had a ball game to call. How about the Fish getting a win in the Citrus Series? First time since 2018. I'll save my thoughts.
We're going to go back to your old stomping grounds to start. White Sox versus Cubs. Game one, Cubs win 13-3. It was your classic windy game at Wrigley that started off with a 2-run home run for Miguel Vargas, but that was basically it for the White Sox. The Cubs rattled off 6 in the bottom of the second, but that was mostly the fault of the White Sox defense, and then PCA took advantage, crushing a 3-run home run for his 12th home run of the season. And then Miguel Vargas homered again in the third, but it was all Cubs from there. Every starter had a hit in the Cubs lineup outside John Birdie, and of course, PCA stole the show, going 4 for 6 with 6 RBIs. And Cade Horton wasn't great, but managed 5 innings of 3-run ball. We moved to game two. Cubs win 7-3. Chase Mydroth started the scoring with a dinger, but then Sean Burke lost command, and the Cubs pounced for 4 runs in the second, and that was enough. Now, Tim Elko did homer for the White Sox, but Dansby homered. And he, PCA, and Nico Horner all had multi-hit days, and Matthew Boyd was solid again. 6 innings, 3 earned, 8 Ks. His ERA is at 2.98. We move to game three. Could the White Sox salvage? Nope. This is one of the 7 series sweeps. Cubs sweep, winning 6-2. Seiya Suzuki opened the scoring for the Cubs, but Miguel Vargas grabbed it back with his 6th home run of the year. This guy's red hot, but his team is not really helping him. Then the Cubs did what the Cubs do. They smacked the ball all over the ballpark where everyone is chipping in. PCA won't stop hitting. Michael Busch is a beast. And both Nico Horner and Vidal Brujan had multiple hits. And Colin frickin' Ray just keeps shoving. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned, 3 strikeouts. Now, Jack, we tweeted out that the Cubs now lead the Crosstown Classic 75-74 all time. But our guy, Herb Lawrence, said that they played in the World Series in 1906, and we got to count it. And the White Sox won that World Series in 6 games. So still, the White Sox have the all-time lead in this series at 78-77. No misnames to start, right?
No, you're good. That won't last for long. This
Thank you.
was Big Brother beating up on Little Brother. Miguel Vargas has been hitting the ball well. I appreciate that. My few takeaways from this: Miguel Vargas, turns out he's pretty good at baseball. We knew
Yeah,
that
dude.
when he was a Dodger. We
Yeah.
forgot about that when he was traded to the White Sox and he was sent off to Siberia essentially at last year's trade deadline in that Fetty Kopech Edmond deal. Um, Other takeaway from this one, I got to stop discounting Matthew Boyd. I say, who are the Cubs' arms going to be in the postseason? Boyd might be that guy. He was good for Cleveland last postseason, and this guy has proven to be a legit big league pitcher. Same with Colin Ray. I think I'm done just shoving Colin Ray to the wayside. He's an executor, man.
Yeah.
This guy puts his fastball wherever he wants it. He puts his secondaries wherever he wants it. It'll be interesting to me to see how Horton fares. We've got three in Miami with the Cubs starting today, and that'll be Ben Brown, Tyone, and Horton. I feel like those are the three that I have the most questions about. And Boyd and Ray are just flat out good for the Cubs at this point. And I don't even know if I have anything else on Pete Crow Armstrong. Guy's just a dog.
I
He's a
mean,
superstar, blossoming.
what else is there to say about PCA at this point?
Nothing,
I mean, the
nothing.
defense is outrageous. The offense, it feels like every single time I turn on a Cubs game, he's running around second, going for third for a triple. I mean, this guy is box office.
I do have one more takeaway. The White Sox aced their opening day starter last year in Crochet. They found something that they didn't know that they had.
Mm,
I think a lot of people were assuming that they would find something they didn't know that they had in Sean Burke, who started on opening day. That's not the case.
yeah.
It sucks to kind of watch starts get away from Sean Burke, but I will say they found something they didn't know they had in Shane Smith.
Absolutely. I want to go quickly back to the Cubs' point about the starting pitching. Totally agree about Colin Ray. At this point, executor is a perfect way to describe him. Guy just knows how to pitch, right? It's not flashy stuff, but he's keeping the ball off the middle of the barrel and he's keeping this Cubs offense in the game. And that's all they need. They don't need Colin Ray to go seven shutty. Go 5 innings, 2 runs. And we're going to win most of those games because of how good the offense is. And with Matthew Boyd, the stuff is for real. I don't think anybody turning on the TV to watch Matthew Boyd right now is saying, is he going to hold up based on talent? No shot. He's as talented. I mean, let me be careful. I was about to say he's as talented as any left-hander in baseball. But
No,
when he's rolling like this, he does. But I think the only thing left for Matthew Boyd to prove, can you do it over the entire season? And I think that's really the X factor here for Boyd because we're not disagreeing that he can light it up for a few months. Can he
I'm
light it up for a year?
and we're also not saying that he's a two starter. We're saying he's just a flawless four. And there are starts where he goes out there and he is just nailing every single spot. And it's hard to barrel him up. Same thing with Colin Ray. I think those guys are just two objectively good major league pitchers.
Absolutely. Let's move over to the Tigers versus the Blue Jays. Game one, Tigers win 5-4. Riley Green opened the scoring with his 11th home run of the year, and then Zach McKinstry launched his second home run of the year to take an early 2-0 lead after 4 innings. But Riley Green wasn't done, adding a 2-run double to extend the lead. But the Blue Jays had something to say about that. Dalton Varsho hit a 2-run shot, and Miles Straw drove in another run, and Bichette hit a home run in the eighth, but it wasn't enough after Javier Baez stayed hot with a home run of his own. Bowden Francis struggled again, allowing 4 runs in 4 2/3, but Jack Flaherty was solid, allowing just 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Game two, Blue Jays get their revenge, winning 2-1. Spencer Torkelson homered to open the scoring, his 12th of the year, but that was it for Detroit. Alejandro Kirk finally got the Jays on the board with an RBI hit in the eighth, and then Ernie Clement stepped up in the ninth and drove home Dalton Varsho to seal the win. It was a shame for Reese Olson. He dominated. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned, 6 punchouts. His ERA fell to 2.96. This Tigers rotation has been awesome. But Eric Lauer and the Jays bullpen held the Tigers in check to just 1 run on 4 hits. We moved to game three, the rubber match, and Tigers win 3-2 because that's what the best team in the American League does. They win tough series like this. I thought it was a great series for Detroit. They didn't have their best stuff. They still got a series win on the road. Spencer Torkelson drove in all 3 Tigers runs, starting the game with a 2-run double and then breaking a 2-2 tie in the seventh with an RBI single. Now, Jackson Jobe was great. 6 innings, 2 earned, 5 Ks. His ERA is down to 4.12, continues to look more comfortable up there on the mound. And Brios was also solid. 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned, 4 Ks, but his offense just couldn't do enough. Tigers win another one, my man.
I think the Eric Lauer experience over the last few years has been hilarious, and
Yes.
credit to him for sticking with it because this guy, what, 118 innings at a 3.19 ERA in 2021. 2022, he follows that up with 160 innings at a 3.69 ERA for Milwaukee. What happens in 23? Hurt for the majority of the year. He's brutal in AAA. 2024, he starts the year in Indianapolis. Then he goes to Sugarland. Then he goes to Korea. And then he comes back. He starts 5 games with Buffalo. He was fine. Like, it was 24 innings at a 4.5 ERA. And what does he do when he comes up to Toronto? 12 innings, 3 runs, 14 Ks, 3 walks. Shout out Eric Lauer for staying the course here. Sometimes the course takes you to the KBO, but you'll find your way back, and he's north of the border, man.
I love stories like that because obviously Eric Lauer loves baseball. Like
He's
you
also
gotta
hilarious. He was in Indianapolis. He had a constant smile on his face, and those are the guys that make it, number one, so easy to root for. Number two, so easy to understand like how they can stay through what may be hard for the rest of the league.
Where are you at on the Tigers right now? Because they still have the best record in the American League. Another great series win. I'm leaving it open ended to you. Where are you at on them?
I love him. I have reversed course a bit. I am not worried about them. I think I would absolutely pencil them in as the American League Central champ.
Hmm.
I
Not the
think
Twins.
Cleveland has more deficiencies.
Not
I
the Twins.
think I think I'm a hater of Minnesota. And Kansas City's Kansas City. I like Detroit. I think I needed to come around on two people. Number one, Javier Baez, the center fielder. Number two, Reese Olson. I needed to understand that he's just legit good and he
Yeah.
wasn't just hot last year. And I think we're finding out that Reese Olson is legit good. The bullpen, we know how AJ Hinch can handle that. We know how good that pitching coach over there is. I mean, it plays. It really plays what they're doing.
And guys at the bottom of the lineup are going to go through ups and downs with the Tigers. But when I feel like I know I can pencil in three legit bats, whether that be Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, and Spencer Torkelson, I didn't feel that going into the year, right? I knew Kerry Carpenter was a great bat. Are you gonna play him against lefties? How often is he gonna play? Riley Green, does he keep ascending or does he start to plateau? It looks like he continues to ascend, and then Spencer Torkelson breaking out as one of the best offensive pieces at the first base position. And then if you're just getting contributions from other guys when you need them, that can be a good enough offense when the pitching staff is so dominant. Of course, you got Scooble at the top, but you got a guy going every single day that you feel confident can move you through. And then to your point about the bullpen, then they just shut it down. This is just a legit team. And
It's a
Scott Harris
legit
has
team.
just built such a good system over there. All right,
Yep.
let's move over to Nationals versus Orioles. And the Orioles nightmare continues. Game one, Nationals win 4-3. So normally in these, write ups, these roundups, we praise the winning team. But the Orioles basically just handed the Nationals this win on a silver platter. The Orioles recorded 14 hits and 4 walks, but they only put up 3 runs because they left an absurd 15 runners on base. Shout out Nate Lowe, and James Wood for the dingers, especially James Wood, which tied it up in the eighth. But the Orioles' lack of clutchness, I think, is the story in this game. Because Cade Povich pitched well. He only allowed 3 hits and 2 runs over 5 2/3 while striking out 9. And Mackenzie Gore allowed 10 hits in 3 2/3. But he only allowed 2 earned runs and struck out 9. And then Brandon Hyde, unfortunately, was fired after Saturday's game, replaced with Tony Manzolino. Jack? Tony
I
Manzolino?
think so.
I'm
Yeah.
calling it, I think. We'll talk about the Brandon Hyde firing when we do some takeaways. Move to game two. Nationals win 10-6. This game was over after the second inning as the Nationals put up 7 runs in the first two. Gibson threw 54 pitches, allowed 6 runs, and was removed for Charlie Morton after just getting 2 outs. Gibson was then DFA'd on Sunday. But the Orioles rallied late, highlighted by a Jackson Holiday home run, but it wasn't enough as 8 of the 9 national starters had at least 1 hit in this game. Another note, Jacob Young collided with the wall in this one, trying to make a play, and it looked really scary. It looked like it hurt like a bitch. And he was removed. Luckily, though, the X-rays came back clean. And Jake Irvin was great. 6 1/3, 2 earned 6 Ks. His ERA is down to 3.88. We move to game three. The nightmare continues. Nats sweep, winning 10-4. This game was over after the second inning. And say it with me now, the Nationals put up 7 runs in the first 2 innings. CJ Abrams homered twice in 2 innings, and both Luis Garcia and Dylan Cruz went yard. The Orioles offense, say it with me now, showed up late with home runs from Cedric Mullins, Gunnar Henderson, and Jackson Holiday, but the Nats just won't stop hitting, highlighted by another Josh Bell home run. Zach Eflin allowed 8 runs in 5 1/3, raising his ERA to 5.08. Shout out Mike Soroka, 3 earned over 5 2/3 while striking out 8. Nationals sweep and the Orioles free fall continues.
So give me your 2 cents on the Brandon Hyde deal because I think Arm and I are going to expand on that for the Tuesday show. Like we'll get a little bit deeper into the big stories of the weekend, but I want your 2 cents before we go 10 minutes on it.
More than fair. So I tweeted out, and the tweet got a lot of traction, whether people agreeing or disagreeing. That's usually how tweets get traction these days. If everybody
Yeah,
agrees with you, it ain't going nowhere.
typically is.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
not many tweets go dumb viral because it's like, you know what?
Everyone's like,
Yeah, this was sound.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's my goal. Just get a tweet where like it gets a million views and the comment section is just
you
filled up
just
with great
based.
tweet.
Yeah,
Wow. What a
no,
tweet, man.
strong.
It'll
Very
never happen in my
measured thought.
it'll never happen in my career, but I'm hoping for it one time. So I tweeted out basically a picture of the Orioles rotation, and I said, "What was Brandon Hyde supposed to do with this?" And I think it's a fair point because the Orioles over the last 2 seasons have won 192 games, 101 in 2023, 91 in 2024. Now, no real postseason success, but is that the manager's fault or is that the player's fault? I don't know. Me personally, I put more blame on the players there. Now, has Brandon Hyde put out some bad lineups? Absolutely. Has Brandon Hyde made some dumb decisions in the bullpen? Absolutely. Hasn't every manager? He's not perfect, but he's 18 months removed from being the 2023 manager of the year. So, my opinion of Brandon Hyde, watching him, I mean, over the last 3, 4 years is I don't have much of an opinion. I don't really know what a lot of managers are really doing, right? I've seen the bad lineups, I've seen some of the bad bullpen decisions. I get it. But really, I feel like this is a scapegoat for Mike Elias. That he has not been able to put together the right team. He has not been able to take advantage of a great system that he built. And it reminds me of Heim Bloom, where Heim Bloom was incredible at building a system. And once the system got there, what do? Oh shit. Now I got to win a bunch of games, right? Now I got to build a sustainable product while going out and signing guys. So I think that Brandon Hyde took the blame, and I'm sure there are Orioles fans that didn't like him. Every fan base has those people who don't like their manager. Dodger fans want Dave Roberts fired at multiple points. Yankee fans want Aaron Boone fired every day, right? Every manager is not perfect, but to fire him, I understand why they did it, right? You can't be as bad as the Orioles are, and somebody's got to take the blame, and that always happens to be the manager. But do I believe the Orioles are at this point in the season because of Brandon Hyde? Absolutely not.
Baltimore has a 6.01 starter ERA. That's 29th in baseball. The only team worse is the Colorado Rockies. And Kobe Mayo's on year 3 in AAA.
How does one manage Kyle Gibson?
I don't know. And I've got some profound thoughts on managers, I guess. Like I just the role of manager, is it overrated? Is it underrated? I feel like managers are just the go-to scapegoat for everything. Like
Yeah,
there can be things that are not their fault whatsoever that they just have to fall on the sword for. And that's part of the job. I understand. Part of the job is talking to the media twice a day. Like it's crazy. Like I feel like we don't really know the role of manager. And I'll get I think more into that on the Tuesday show, but it's just unique to me because like Brandon Hyde, was it his fault? I don't know, maybe partially. I'm not sure. All I know is this weekend looked like the team was gearing up for 2026. I've never seen a possible AL pennant contender pack it in on May 16th. But like that's what's happening right now. When they fired Brandon Hyde, they just said, you know what, season's over, we're good. Sometimes teams rally around that. The Orioles looked lifeless. Shout out Jackson Holiday for hitting some homers. His
yeah,
OPS is right around 800. But dude, like I don't know. I'll save my thoughts on Baltimore, but that team just looked so lifeless. It was unbelievable. And I've seen teams be out of it by May 16th. But a possible World Series contender before opening day pack it in by May 16th? I don't remember the last time I've seen this.
I agree. And I want to shower some praise on the Nationals. Obviously, You can only play who's in front of you. And while the Orioles are playing like a doormat right now, you still got to walk over it. And they walked over the Baltimore Orioles. Offense came to play. Abrams clearly, James Wood, Dylan Cruz, the young guys. It's an exciting offense, and it's clear that the Nationals are not really, they shouldn't be included in the bottom feeder teams, that they can dominate a team if they're not ready to play, right? Some bottom feeder teams, like let's say the White Sox rolled into Baltimore, or the Pirates, right? Or the Rockies. Orioles might have won that series. But the Nationals are good enough that if you give them an inch, they can sweep you, and that's exactly what they did in this one.
They'll take
Anything
three
else on the
miles.
Nats?
I love
Anything
it.
else? All good?
No,
All right, let's move over to Rays versus Marlins Citrus Series. Jack McMullen called this one. Game one, Marlins win 9-4. Both Florida teams traded runs off the jump before a big fourth inning from Miami. Taj Bradley's command just got away from him, walking in the second run, and then Connor Norby brought them all home with a 3-run double. The Rays battled back with 3 runs in the fifth, but then the Marlins fully broke out in the sixth, and it was over. Eric Wagaman have a day, going 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, and Augustin Ramirez just continues to prove why he's one of the best rookies in the game. But game two, Rays got some revenge, winning 4-0. This was the Drew Rasmussen show, throwing 6 shutty, allowing 4 hits and no walks with 5 strikeouts. His ERA is down to 2.93. Yandy Diaz, Jonathan Aranda, and Chandler Simpson all had multiple hits and drove in all 4 of the Rays' runs. Now, Sandy's stuff I thought looked awesome when I was watching. I want to ask you about that, but a bad fourth inning kept him to just 5 innings of 4-run ball. We move on to game 3. The rubber match started by Cal Quantrill, so of course the Marlins won this game 5-1. Rays did open the scoring here, but it was short-lived as Otto Lopez hit a 3-run dinger off Shane Baz. Good to see him back from the IL. And then Liam Hicks added the exclamation point with his 4th home run of the year, and that was that because Cal Quantrill is the best pitcher alive. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts, and the first immaculate inning of the season. And Shane Baz struggled again. 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned, 2 strikeouts. His ERA is at 5.33. He looked so good early, and he has not looked good late. But this was all about the fish, baby. How about those fish?
how about those fish, man? Otto Lopez coming off the IL with a 3-run shot. That was great. Liam Hicks, if you're not paying attention, this guy, I think it's 43 consecutive plate appearances without a punch out. The only guy that has an active streak longer than that is Luis Ariz. And oh, by the way, he's got an 108-mile-an-hour homer sprinkled in there and a homer today off the bat at 102. Liam Hicks is playing, man, and they've got some exciting catching situations in Miami. In Miami, in particular, with Augustin Ramirez and Liam Hicks. And then you got Joe Mack balling out in AAA, too. The future of the catching position is really bright. The thing that jumped out to me this weekend, Marlins bullpen, 12 scoreless innings. 4
Mm,
scoreless innings in each of those 3 games. The numbers of the bullpen in the macro are skewed. So when you look at bullpen ERA, the Marlins are considered a bottom third bullpen in baseball. They've got a 3.35 bullpen ERA in the month of May.
mm.
Like they figured out what works and they have a path to a win. It's Cal giving him 5, it's Meyer giving him 5, it's Sandy giving him 5. And then they turn it over to a mishmash of their leverage arms, right? Jesus Tinoco, Anthony Bender, Calvin Fauché, Ronnie Enriquez, who's flat out disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
Lake Bacher, Tyler Phillips. Like they've got irons in the fire that they can go to, and they are gross. It's really fun to have a guy like Ryan Weathers back. We'll see him throw on Tuesday against the Cubs. But man, this Marlins bullpen is legit, and the offense is having some guys that are in the midst of breakout campaigns.
Tired is Jacob Wilson the next Luis Arias. Wired is Liam Hicks the next Jacob Wilson.
No, because there are no bags to speak of there,
All right. We'll
but I
sacrifice a
do
couple
love
back.
the thought. I love where your head's at.
One more question for you. When I was watching Sandy start, I thought we were about to see him fully bounce back. Like it was 99. He looked awesome. And then it got away from him. But that has to be good to see, right? Because it's all a part of a process. He's still recovering from Tommy John surgery. So he's not going to look awesome straight out of the gate. But as you can see, like he's had a couple of rough starts actually more than a couple, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But this start I felt was a right step in the direction because it's still relatively early on in the season. If he then builds on that start and rattles off a bunch of great ones in a row, Sandy's back.
The fifth inning sucked. Like
Yeah.
all four runs of that 4-0 win for Tampa came in the top of the fifth inning, and that
Yeah.
was against Sandy. And there were no homers from Tampa this weekend. Like not a single home run hit against the Marlins pitching staff. And Sandy, like there was some hard contact right away. Josh Lowe, first pitch of the ball game, he hit like 107 off the top of the wall in left center. But after that, like Sandy did not run into trouble. He got out of the first unscathed, and then it was a clean second, third, and fourth before he ran into that 4-run fifth. He had punch outs at 99 and 100 miles an hour in that first inning. And I was like, okay, Sandy's back. And he was on cruise control through four. I was like, okay, Sandy's back. And he looked like this on the south side of Chicago, too. I know everybody's tired of saying it. He threw much better than the line would suggest.
I
And he's
agree.
also taken two steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
In Chicago against the White Sox last week, and then this past weekend against Tampa in Miami. Next time he throws, I think will be in Anaheim this coming weekend. That's the start where I feel like it's all going to click for him because he's got the heater back. He's getting the changeup back. Curveball looks good. And it was just paper cuts against him in that 4-run inning. Like it was three
Yeah.
singles that plated the 4 runs.
Yeah. But it was good to see him at least just. You're right about the White Sox. For me, like I was watching that White Sox start and I was like, yeah, it's the White Sox.
He looked good,
But
but
it's all
like it
about
was
the stuff.
one swing at Tim Elko that
Yeah.
was between Sandy and 6 innings of 1-run ball.
So I'll be watching that Angel start. I like
Cool.
that because put it
Do
all
it.
together and
I
just
think
dominate.
I think it's gonna be Sandy and Jose Soriano. I think that's what we got.
I like that. Two guys I love. All
Yeah,
right, let's
it'll
move
be
over
good.
to Pirates versus Phillies. Game one, Phillies win 8-4. This was a pitcher's duel until it wasn't. The scoring didn't start until the fifth, but when it rains, it pours when it comes to the Phillies offense. Alexander Canario gave the Pirates a 3-1 lead with a 3-run home run, but 7 runs from the Phillies in the seventh and eighth sealed it. And most of it was this Pirates bullpen walking the world. 3 of the runs were on the bases loaded walks and hit by pitches. Andrew Heaney, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned. His ERA is down to 3.02. But Ranger Suarez looks good, returning from injury. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Let's move to game two real quick. Phillies win 5-2, and it's quick because Zach Wheeler put on a show, striking out 6 over 6 shutout innings while only allowing 3 hits. And the only Pirates runs came on a Brian Reynolds home run in the ninth. Bryson Stott led this Phillies offense with a home run, and both Schwarber and Harper had RBI hits. Let's move to game three. Philly sweep, win 1-0. How about this pitcher's duel? Paul Skeens walked so Mick Abel can run. What a performance by the both of them. Skeens only allowed 3 hits and 1 run with 9 strikeouts through 8 innings. But Mick Abel shut the door in his debut, tossing 6 shutty with 9 punchouts. The only run was a Brandon Marsh force out that drove in the run, and per Jason Stark, Abel is the third starter in the modern era to toss 6 shutout innings with no walks and 9 strikeouts. Shota Imanaga did it last year, and Nick Kingham did it in 2018 with the Pirates. So you have your answer here, Phillies fans. Mick Abel is either going to be Shota Imanaga or Nick Kingham. Who do you think he's more like?
Unfortunately, Nick Kingham right now, but I mean, he's somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. Is that fair?
That's more than fair. You got a wide spectrum with those two names.
Really wide. Mick Abel last year was so disappointing.
Yeah.
I forgot about Mick Abel entirely this year. I thought, okay, they just got to buy time to get to Andrew Painter. And then you see Abel was coming up, and it's like, whoa, hold on. Let me check in on what Abel was doing. 109 innings last year with AAA Lehigh Valley. This guy was 3-12 with a 6.46 ERA. This year, across 8 starts in AAA, 46 and a third, he had a 2.53 ERA. Okay, so something clicked for Mick Abel, and something clearly clicked. Now, granted, this probably felt a lot like a AAA start for him, just in front of a better crowd. That offense is really bad. I'm starting to feel bad for Paul Skeens. There's not much to feel bad for. I understand, like he's got a lot going his way, but I'm starting to feel really bad. That was 2018 DeGrom type stuff that he had to deal with on Sunday, where it's like, what else do I have to do? It was a complete game, 1 run, and they lose 1-0. I don't love the social media uproar and everybody saying the Pirates should be trading Paul Skeens because Passan said it on the Pat McAfee show last week. I really don't love that. I understand the genesis of why Passan said that. If you're not going to field a competitive baseball team around him, you might as well change the course of your franchise by trading him. But you also are not going to sell tickets ever again if you trade Paul Skeens.
Yeah, they're not
So
trading Paul
they
Skeens.
can't do it. They're not trading him. Uh, I just feel terrible for him. And I hope that something works. Bubba Chandler, by the way, K7 on Sunday. Jared Jones, I saw a crappy report from John Perotto that he's going to see Keith Meister. Surgery could be an option, so Jared Jones could be TJ'd up in a moment. But Skeens and Bubba, like I don't know. We keep looking at the future. We keep looking at what's to come. And there's 5 more years of Paul Skeens in Pittsburgh. There's 6 more years of Bubba Chandler in Pittsburgh. There's 5 more years of Jared Jones in Pittsburgh. And then everybody else can fill in. They just have no offense, man. Like it is the hardest watch in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean the Rockies are brutal, but I totally agree with you
But like,
but the
dude, they don't have
Rockies like
Paul Skeens.
exactly like we expect the Rockies like, oh, look at this, team playing on the moon and
They're so cute.
let's see
Yeah.
if they can score today. With the Pirates, like you're a Major League Baseball team. You have Paul Skeens. So I want to compliment McAble. I want to talk about how amazing his start was that he had 18 whiffs, 6 innings, 9 Ks. He looked awesome. But
He
here's
looked
the
great.
thing. Here's the thing, and this is going to sound mean, but it's what I thought when I was watching the game, and I'm anything but honest. It did look like Paul Skeens, when he was walking into the locker room, was like, let me grab 9 fans and make their wishes come true, and let's see if we can beat the Phillies together. That's what it felt like. Because my eyes are bleeding watching this offense, watching this defense behind. That makes me so mad because it's like you have the crown jewel. You can surround yourself. Like you have Paul Skeens, you can bring up Bubba Chandler. Even Heaney is pitching well. Like Keller is still there. We have a rotation. All we need is a couple offensive pieces. O'Neal Cruz is showing up. Brian Reynolds, But if we add a couple more, we're a team.
Yeah.
But we ain't a team. Why? Nutting won't nut up and spend.
Yeah. I
It's not
mean,
Charrington's fault. I mean, what is he supposed to do when your budget is $11 and a coupon?
no, and you kept the budget at the league minimum by doing Luis Ortiz for Spencer Horwitz effectively.
Horowitz is coming up soon, though. I'm excited to see if he helps this offense at all.
Yeah, Horwitz activated this weekend. Like
Yeah.
it's Horwitz back, Gonzalez on rehab, Andy Rodriguez on rehab, Nick Solak up, and before you laugh at that, Nick Solak was hitting like 400 in AAA and he was slugging.
I'm not laughing at anyone with
They
any
have to try
parts.
literally everything
Yeah.
with this lineup.
Yeah. I'm down with Nick Solak. I don't even
Yeah,
care if he was hitting
let's just
three.
try.
Yeah, fuck it. Like he's a prospect. All right, let's move on. But before we get to the Battle of Ohio, Guardians Reds, our first break. Guardians versus Reds. Again, the Battle of Ohio. Game one, Reds win 5-4. Reds jump on Bybee for 4 runs in the bottom of the second, highlighted by Will Hall of Fame Benson, 2 run shot. Austin Hayes extended the lead to 5-0 with a home run of his own, and it was much needed because the Guardians battled until the end. Bo Naylor and Jose Ramirez homered, and Carlos Santana drove in 2 with a single, but it wasn't enough. Now, neither Bybee nor Brady Singer were very good. Neither really had a quality start. We'll move on to game two. Much better pitching matchup here. Daniel Schneemann opened the scoring with his 6th home run of the year, but that was it for Cleveland. Will Benson, the greatest player alive, stayed hot, hitting his 3rd home run in as many games and re-signs homered as well. We'll talk about Will Benson again in a second. I thought Slade Ciccone looked awesome until, again, that last inning got away from him. Final line, 5 innings, 3 earned, 8 strikeouts, but it was much better than the stat line in my opinion. And it was a Reds bullpen game, led by 3 innings from Brent Suter, who shut down the Guardians' bats, and then the back end of Luis May, Graham Ashcraft, Tony Santillan, and Emilio Pagan has been so solid. And in game three, all those bullpen arms showed up again. Red sweep, winning 3-1. Will Benson is on an insane heater, driving in all 3 of those Reds runs with 2 more home runs. He now has 5 home runs in his last 4 games, and Andrew Abbott was great again, tossing 5 shutty with 5 strikeouts, lowering his ERA to just 1.80. And the Reds bullpen did its job again, including Emilio Pagan getting his 12th save. Reds needed this series win. They've been so inconsistent. So to just get a clean sweep of a good Guardians team, it's got to feel good. And then in the presser afterwards, we posted this on our Instagram. They asked about Andrew Abbott's 5 inning start, how good he's been. And then, you know what Terry Francona said he has? Big balls.
Yeah.
Facts.
He said, I'm going to put this politely, and then said big balls. That was nice. That was very polite, Tito. Yeah. Cincinnati, number one, needed this. There is absolute fuel at the back of that bullpen. Luis May, Ashcraft, that's fun. Can I correct a pronunciation, or was that
No, you
no on your
can.
first
No,
slip
no,
up?
you're saying it nice. You're just like, hey, Peter, just wanted to let you
Can
know
yeah,
it is pronounced this. And
you're
then next
super handsome. I just want to let you know, Luis May, Graham Ashcraft, and Tony Santillan, not Santillion, Santillan.
I swore I heard the Reds booth call him Tony Santillan.
No, Santillan, Tony Santillan.
Tony Santillan.
But that's
That's
what we
on me.
got. I also saw a funny tweet, and I don't have it pulled up. I'm sorry, but I'm retroactively attributing this to you if you hear this. It was just headshots of Reese Hines, Aristides Aquino, and Will Benson, and it was the three horsemen of hitting nothing but homers and doing nothing else.
Will,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when Will Benson gets hot, he's
Same with Reese Hines and Aristides Aquino.
no, but yes, but Benson, because after he hits a home run and he pimps it and he gets so fired up and
You
looks at
don't
the
remember
Reds
the
dugout.
Punisher. You don't remember Aquino.
No, I remember Aquino. I remember him having an absolute rifle from right field. I remember him hitting like 14 home runs in 3 games or something absurd like he did. I get that. I'm talking about the fire that's lit under me when I watch Benson just rope a shot into the right field bleachers in Great American Ballpark. And I'm like, if you could put it together for more than 2 weeks, I would buy your jersey.
It was also so funny because one of Benson's homers, John Sadak, who's the TV voice of the Reds, said Nolan Jones looking up, and I was like, that's really good. That's
That
kind
is
of
good.
poetic that Will Benson hit a homer off over Nolan Jones's head.
Guardians, this was a kind of a sloppy series. I noticed some bad defense. Their offense was kind of eh. I mean, credit again to the Reds bullpen. They really shut them down. But I just thought, Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, like if they aren't having great games, this Guardians offense just leaves a lot to be desired. And it was some of the fears that I had preseason. Now, the Guardians have still been great. I'm not jumping off. Guard ball is awesome. I still think they're going to be a threat in this division. Absolutely. I was just saying that my fears of the Guardians this year felt like I was seeing all of them in this series. And again, that's really easy to say when you get swept. I am just saying that's what I saw.
Yeah, I understand. For the most part, my takeaways were Cincinnati based.
Yeah. Let's move over to the Silver Boot Series. Astros versus Rangers. Game one is a 4 game set. Rangers win 1-0 on Thursday, and an immovable object met an unstoppable force. That's what this pitcher's duel is defined as between Jacob DeGrom and Hunter Brown. Combined for 16 innings, a 1-run ball. First game this season where both starters went 8 innings, but DeGrom was the one with the shutout. The only run came courtesy of a Jake Berger home run that slipped right over the right center wall. Game two, Astros win 6-3. Nathan Eovaldi threw 5 2/3 of shutout baseball, but his bullpen did not have his back. The Astros rallied for 6 runs in the 7th inning, highlighted on RBI hits from Cam Smith, Isak Paredes, and then Christian Walker stepped up and crushed his 5th home run of the year, driving in 3. Josh Young's 7th home run of the season in the 9th wasn't enough. Now, shout out Lance McCullers Jr., bounced back relatively so, allowing just 2 runs over 4 innings. Game three, Rangers win 5-1. It was a 1-1 tie in the 7th, and Jock Peterson finally showed up. His 2nd home run of the year broke the tie, and then a Wyatt Langford home run in the 9th was the finishing blow. Tyler Mahle stayed hot, tossing 6 innings of 1-run ball. His ERA is still 1.47. Ronel Blanco threw a quality start, but it's hard to win when you only score 1 run. We'll move to game four. Astros win 4-3. The Rangers wasted this one for Leiter. He took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, but Yainer Diaz broke it open on the one mistake Leiter made all day, a slider that stayed up a bit too high, and Diaz made him pay. You'd expect any team to win in a spot like that, but Isaac Paredes had other plans, launching a 3-run home run in the 8th to take the lead that just slipped over the outstretched glove of Wyatt Langford. Leiter's day was much better than the stat sheet. 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts. And of course, Framber just did Framber things. 7 innings, 3 earned, 8 Ks. Not a lot to learn when you have a 4-game set and they split them, right? But
No,
can we talk about Jack Leiter for a second, or you got
we
something before him?
we can. No, I mean Leiter's a dog. Like he's
Yeah,
an absolute dog, and I love it. We're also just seeing how Isaac Paredes wins. Isaac Paredes has an 810 OPS and he's hitting 260. Like
yeah.
this is who Isaac Paredes is. Does he need a short porch? Sure. I don't care. But you know what? Sometimes he hits homers in Arlington too. I think Isaac Paredes is a really good baseball player, and I hope people are starting to appreciate that. It's been an underwhelming year for Houston. There's no doubt about it. They haven't had many bright spots in that lineup. Isaac Paredes has arguably been the brightest spot in that lineup.
Mm, you know, not much.
Pena,
I'm not
Pena and
much.
Paredes.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not much of a Paredes guy. The pull
I
fly.
know you're not. I know you're not. I know
Yeah,
you're a Josh Naylor guy too, and Naylor's been better this
Naylor's
year.
been
But
better.
Isaac Paredes is a dog.
Can we talk about Jack Leiter again?
Yeah, Jack Leiter's a dog.
7 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned. It's not going to tell you the full story. What I was watching was a pitcher being very, very efficient and just looking confident on the mound. And we've talked about this with Leiter. Right, he started the season. It didn't look like the confidence was quite there. Velo wasn't quite there. Wasn't trusting his stuff. And then over the last few starts, you see it getting better and better and better, and it all cultivated into a near no hitter in this one. And Leiter has had some, command issues. Sometimes you look up in the 4th and the 5th inning and you're like, oh, he's already at 80, 85 pitches. How is he going to get through this one? Not in this one. I mean, he was at like 63 pitches through 6 innings. He was efficient. He was going after guys. This looked like a confident Leiter. And when the Rangers have a confident Leiter throwing strikes, you have a legit arm. Not just a good arm, a legit arm with how good his stuff is.
It's nice to see them get a legit arm and Leiter when we still have a ton of questions about Kumar Rocker. And I know the Rocker's
100%.
hurt, but like at the end of the day, if one of them was going to show up this year, my money was on Rocker. It's totally flipped.
Yeah. And who knows, right? Rocker can come back and still be a great pitcher. He has all the stuff to do so. But when you have DeGrom and you got Eovaldi and you got Malley and then you have Leiter, and Rocker could be the missing piece to an elite puzzle. As long as DeGrom stays healthy, and Malley will eventually come back to earth. I don't think he's going to have an
You
ERA
sure?
at
He
one
might be a
five.
1.5 ERA
He
guy.
might be, but I think all of us realize he's going to take a little bit of a step back. But this guy's for real. He's throwing the ball wherever he wants to. He's surgical, right? We talk about an executor with Colin Ray. This guy's executing better than any pitcher in Major League Baseball right now. So if he can continue that, and then you get Rocker, it's a real good rotation. Let's move over to Cardinals versus Royals, our next series. Game one, Cardinals win 10-3. The story here is Cole Reagans. Cardinals jumped on him in the 4th, and he finished 5 innings, but he said his groin stiffened up on him in the postgame presser on Saturday. He was placed on the 15-day IL. Not great. And once he was removed, the Cardinals put up 7 runs, and it was a full team effort. 7 of the 9 starters recorded hits, and both Brendan Donovan and Ivan Herrera combined to go 6 for 9 with 5 RBIs and 4 runs. And shout out Andre Palante, just keeping the ball on the ground. 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, 4 punchouts. Move to game 2. Pitchers duel. Cardinals win 1-0. A pitchers duel started by Miles freaking Michaelis. Damn right. Stays hot with another 6 inning shutout. He's only allowed 4 earned runs over his last 28 innings, and his ERA is down to 3.77. I love when Michaelis is shoving. Noah Cameron was also fantastic in his second start, only allowing 2 hits and 1 run over 6 1/3. The Royals got something here. His ERA is 0.71, and the lone run in the game came on Jordan Walker's 3rd home run of the season. We'll move to game 3. Royals salvage it, win 2-1. Alec Burleson opened the scoring with his 4th home run of the year, but that was it for St. Louis. Darren Blanco tied it up in the 4th with an RBI double, and Michael Garcia's RBI single in the end was the deciding blow. Both pitchers, Matthew Liberatore and Michael Wacha, were excellent, combining for 11 innings and only allowing 2 earned runs, and both pitchers' ERAs are below 3. You can tell the Royals can win some 2-1 games, but their offense is so annoying to watch. It really is. Because if Bobby Witt isn't swinging it, I'm relying on Maikel Garcia. And more often than not, he's coming through. But I can't rely on 2 guys. It can't be this one-sided. Like, Bobby Witt Jr. is probably not going to put up another 11-win season. He might. What if he puts up an 8-win season, Jack? Or a 9-win?
Yeah.
What if he's awesome?
Yeah.
They have to surround because Vinny's not hitting. He's just not. Like, the bottom of the lineup ain't hitting.
I would entertain this conversation, but we also had it for 6 months last year.
But
so I
it's
just
worse
don't
than
really
last
want
year. It's worse than last year, or at least it
because
feels
you're a
worse
year
than last
removed from that and you're a year closer to your winning window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just visually, like, it does feel worse.
Yeah, they tried to address it with India, and I mean, it's hard. Like,
Yeah.
they need production outside of Bobby Witt Jr., and it's just not happening right now. I was going to throw you a
Caglione,
little trivia question, not baseball related, but finish your baseball thoughts.
Caglione got promoted to AAA.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
That's
Cags
all
has
you got.
been
That's all you got.
Cags has
We'll
been
see how that
raking
goes.
in Double A. He's been raking. But Cags' issue since he was at the University of Florida was pitch rec. Like, he's had some trouble in the plate discipline department. And now he's going to face a bunch of 32-year-old shit slingers that know how to start a slider on the outside edge and have it peel off.
Mm.
And change ups to start on the outside corner and tail off. Like, I'm really curious to see how he fares against guys that know how to execute their stuff. In Double A, you've got some guys that have good stuff, like have great stuff. But in AAA, you've got guys with bad stuff that execute. And in the big leagues, you have guys with great stuff that execute. So this is a huge level up for me. I'm really curious to see what it looks like with Cags. I'm bought in on it. It's as fun a product as there is in minor league baseball right now. He has been a joy to watch so far. I'm just curious what happens when he sees a guy like Chris Flexen. And I know Flexen is in the big leagues, but I'm curious to see what happens when he sees a guy like that who's been around the block and knows how to take on guys like that.
I think I already know what Cags is going to do in AAA. Tell me if you agree. 240, 300, 520 slash line. He's going to hit a bunch of home runs. He's going to strike out a lot. He's going to hit like 3 or 4 home runs that are 120, and then he's going to get called up. But those issues you're talking about are still going to be there. And when he gets called up, he's going to rock a big old strikeout rate. But at the same time, he's going to provide some much needed power.
Yeah, and I think they're okay with that if he's just
Yeah.
like a high punch out 5 hitter for them. And that's what he can be by the end of the year, which is great. He was drafted last summer.
They need that power. Like
They need it. They totally need it.
Yeah, and they're probably not worried. It's like, all right, if Cags grounds out or strikes out, like we'll just
It's okay.
stomach it because we need those 121 piss rods.
Yeah. How many states have multiple Major League Baseball teams?
Um, 6.
I name them.
Oh, California, New
Okay.
York. I
Okay.
was going to say Chicago, Illinois,
Yeah.
Ohio,
Yeah.
Florida. Um,
You're missing 2, so 7.
who am I missing? Texas, duh.
Texas. You might be missing 3 actually. So you got California, Ohio, New
Good.
York is
Yeah.
3, Texas is 4, Florida is 5.
I have one more. Didn't I already say one more? Illinois,
Illinois is 6. You're missing 2.
missing 2. Um, I'm drawing a blank.
Pennsylvania
Duh.
and Missouri is the one that nobody would be getting.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know how I
Missouri,
forgot.
St. Louis, and Kansas City. I just thought about that. I was like, I feel like if you were to play that game, name every state with 2 Major League Baseball teams, everybody would miss Missouri.
Sometimes I forget that Pittsburgh and Philadelphia are all in Pennsylvania
They're
'cause they're
so far
apart.
away.
They're so
It's
far away from each
unbelievable
other.
how far away they are.
Pittsburgh is basically in Ohio, and Philly is basically in
In New York.
New York. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super easy to get to Philly. I got to take like 2 planes to get to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
And they're in the same
I
state.
know.
Bullshit. All right, let's move on to Braves versus Red Sox. Game 1, Braves win 4-2. It was the battle of the old and the new guard, and the old came out on top. Olsen and Murphy had Sales back, hitting back-to-back home runs in the second, And the first Red Sox run didn't come until the seventh on Rob Ref Snyder's third home run of the year. And that was pretty much it. Garrett Crochet, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, 8 Ks. His ERA is down to 2.00. But the old guard won. Chris Sale, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, 8 Ks. His ERA is to 3.62. Move to game two. Red Sox win 7-6. This game was awesome. Braves got out to a 6-2 lead after 3 innings, and all runs were scored on dingers. Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna, and Drake Baldwin homered for Atlanta, and Jarren Duran homered for the Boston Red Sox. Going into the seventh, Red Sox put up 2 to narrow the score on RBI hits from Devers and Bregman, and then in the eighth, Duran tied it up with a clutch 2-run single. Then, bottom of the ninth, Rafael Devers, walk-off shot to win it. This comes to us from Cespedes Family Barbecue. Indeed, this is Rafael Devers' 208th career home run, but remarkably his first walk-off home run. Updated leaderboard of the most career home runs among active players without a walk-off home run. Number 1, Christian Yelich at 211, Juan Soto at 209, and Corey Seager at 206. I almost thought to myself, I guess he's not counting the playoffs, the World Series where Corey Seager hit that walk-off home run. Am I remembering that incorrectly?
I think you're misremembering. Corey Seager did not hit a walk-off home run.
The one where in the World Series was that must have not been a walk-off home run. That must
It
have
was
been
not a
a
walk-off where he yelled.
take
I
the
think that was
lead.
like bottom of
Remember?
the seventh or bottom of the eighth.
Oh, I thought that was a walk-off home run. I was
No.
remembering that differently, but there's your leaderboard right there. Game 3, Braves win 10-4. Braves got out to a 3-0 lead before Rafael Devers stepped up to the plate and launched one for a grand slam, his 9th home run of the season. From there, it was all Braves, teed off on Brian Bayo as he allowed 7 earned over 4 1/3 and then beat up Sean Newcomb when Bayo was removed. The highlight was a Marcell Ozuna home run that StatCast said went 430 feet,
False.
easily 570. At least that's what Peter Vision tracked it at. Traveled way over the Green Monster. He crushed it. And Schwellenbach wasn't great, but he kept them in the game. 7 innings, 4 earned, 3 strikeouts. His ERA is at 3.52. I said before the series when we were doing the weekend preview that I expected the Braves to win this series because the Braves got a lot of momentum off their last series, and I thought the Red Sox were playing kind of up and down. And the Braves, like, when the Braves get rolling, you see the vision. Like you see why they are regarded as one of the better teams, and I'm not counting them out of this division lead. Drake Baldwin has been massive. Picked him up actually in my fantasy baseball league. He rakes. You got another guy. Acuna's going to come back soon. Strider's going to come back soon with Sale throwing the way that he is. Schwellenbach's got some problems on the road. At Truist, he is a demon. On the road, he's been struggling. He'll fix that eventually. But they're a really good team. And now the Red Sox are a good team, but it's clear like when a team like the Braves rolls in, you kind of see the difference. And that's what it felt like to me watching this series. Even though the Red Sox got one, it just felt like the Braves are just on a different level than the Red Sox, even though the records are not very different.
I understand that. The Braves are obviously skewed by that start to the season. These are the Atlanta Braves. And oh, by the way, Ronald Acuna homered to straightaway center this weekend on his rehab in
Of course he
AAA.
did.
Like
Of course he did.
Acuna's back, and this Braves team is hot right now with Acuna coming back. We're going to see them be the best team in baseball from now until the All-Star break. I feel pretty
Really?
confident in saying that.
Wow. Even better than the Dodgers?
I think so. Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
the
the Dodgers got
Dodgers are
swept
just
by the
dealing with
Angels,
injuries all over the place.
and they got swept by the Angels. You can't be the best team in baseball when you're getting swept by the Angels at
And
home.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
brother. I mean, I think there is a good chance that the Atlanta Braves, if we were to query it at the All-Star break, we're sitting there in Atlanta and we query it from May 16th until July 11th or whenever I see you in Atlanta, the Braves have the best record in baseball. Like I feel
I
actually
like that
pretty
take.
decent about that because they are hitting their stride right now.
I like that take because the lineup looks so good right
It
now.
looks so good. Schwellenbach, we know, is better than his start at Fenway. Sale looked the part at Fenway. Strider's working his way back from this hamstring issue. We got options, man. We got AJ Smith-Shawver's been pitching his ass off. Like there are a lot of guys in here.
Here's one question, and it's a dumb question, but it's kind of funny. When Acuna comes back, are you benching Michael Harris or Eli White? Because Michael Harris has been terrible.
What a
Eli,
silly question.
I know, but it's like kind of makes you think though.
I I know. It's so much better than like, should they trade Acuna?
Think
I thought
about
you were going
think
there.
about the
Think about how
return.
much they could get for Ronald
Think
Acuna
about the
Jr.
return, though.
It'd be so cool. I will say the one win for the Red Sox this weekend was one of the more enjoyable wins of the season. Like
Definitely.
the clutch hits from Duran and then the Devers walk-off homer. Devers needed that moment. I'm on the Red Sox side in the whole Devers drama thing. It feels like you're on Devers' side. You
I'm
presented a good
on.
counterpoint.
No, I wouldn't say. And again, I wanted to come with the counterpoint because I felt it was so one sided. Everybody was against him.
Yeah, and I'm just on that side.
I
Maybe
understand,
I'm a follower.
but I
Yeah.
wanted to say like he is raking, so it's not affecting his play on the field ever since that like 0 for 13 start or whatever he had. He has been awesome at the plate. He is still one of the premier hitters in this game. And he did move from third base to DH, and they're asking him to move to first base. And all I'm saying is I can understand why he would be upset. So I wouldn't say I'm on Devers' side, but I'm also not on the Red Sox side. I'm just trying
Well,
to understand both.
now it looks like Christian Campbell's going to play first base.
Yeah, which is like I get it, but at the same time, like you're really making his rookie year tough. You're throwing him like four different positions, and now he's got to learn another one. Like learning first base on the fly when you're a second baseman slash center fielder is not easy.
But
And
what are
I'd
you going to
rather the
do?
Red Sox use his athleticism at a different position, maybe second or something like that. But they can't move off Trevor Story, so it is what it is. It
Oh
is what
well,
it is. All
it is
right,
what it is.
let's move on to Twins versus Brewers. Twins are the best team in baseball. All right, game one, Twins win 3-0. 12th win in a row, and it was all Joe Ryan in this one. 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned, 1 walk, 9 Ks. His ERA is down to 2.42. Jack, in his last 25 innings, he's allowed just 2 runs, and he has a 35-3 strikeout to walk ratio. Crazy. He's looked so good. Chad Patrick threw a quality start. His ERA is still a very solid 3.35. And shout out Cody Clemens and Christian Vasquez for the multi-hit days. Game two, Twins win 7-0, 13 in a row. Only two behind the franchise record of 15 straight back in 1991, where they won the World Series, Jack. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. They obliterated the Brewers. 7 runs, 18 hits, and a 6 inning shutout from Pablo Lopez, lowering his ERA to 2.40. Ryan Jeffers went yard, had 4 hits. Cody Clemens went yard as a part of a 3-hit day. And Brooks Lee, Trevor Larnach, and Royce Lewis all had multiple hits. Tobias Myers gave up 11 hits and 4 runs in 3 2/3 and was sent back down to AAA after the game. Game three, though, Brewers win 5-2, salvaging the series and ending the Twins' 13-game win streak. Brewers got their scoreless streak ended early as Sal Frelick opened the scoring with an RBI single and then did it again in the third inning. And at this point, it's 4-0 Brewers. Royce Lewis hit his first home run of the year and almost hit his second, but Jackson Chourio made a freakish play in center, robbing him of a home run. Now, Zebby Matthews of the Twins struggled in his 2025 debut, tossing 3 innings, allowing 4 runs. And Freddie Peralta was solid. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts. 13 in a row for the Twins.
You ready to go to the next series?
No.
I'm not a hater. I like here's the thing. I don't think that I'm a hater of the Minnesota Twins. All I say is I can't get a read on them. And I'm just waiting for it to crumble at some point. It probably will.
No. No, it
Yeah.
won't. All right,
Yeah.
they just lost 13 more. Actually, 15. We're matching 1991. But a real takeaway of mine, Royce Lewis is starting to find his swing. He found it in the last couple of games.
Yeah, but dude, he's gonna pull a hammy in 3 days. I
No,
feel terrible.
stop that.
I feel terrible saying it, but like, where are we at with him?
All I know is he's on the field right now. All we can do is report about what's on the field right now. And what's on the field right now is a Royce Lewis who came back from the IL, couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat, but he's a timing guy. And he's got that timing back in the last couple of games. And the swing looks good. And now he's rocketing baseballs. So at a time where the Twins won 11 in a row, or 12, I forget when exactly Carlos Correa and Buxton collided, and then both of them, I think, went on the 7-day IL. I know Buxton did, not sure about Correa. Regardless, both of them are not in the lineup. Then to have someone like Royce Lewis just come in on the back end and look like one of the best offensive pieces at the third base position that we know he can be, it's just about staying on the field. Now, Royce Lewis, please, please stay on the field. Please, please. And once he's on the field, though, he rakes. And this Twins team is good. And I'm going to give you a very short pitch on them. I'm not asking you to buy in. I'm just asking you to see the vision. I'm asking you to open your third eye and look at a rotation with Ryan and Lopez, two legit can be aces on any given day, followed by Bailey Ober, who is as solid of a three-starter as they come. You got Festa, you got Matthews, you got Paddock, you got SWR. As long as one and a half of them work, it's a really good rotation. Bullpen is as good of a bullpen as there is in baseball. In May, they have the best bullpen in baseball. Duran, Jax, Sands, I could keep going. I feel confident about all of them. And now the goes through ups and downs in the lineup. But even on a day where they only score 3, Joe Ryan throws a shutout. This team is good. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I really do. Do you see the vision? Like, do you see it?
Yeah,
Do
I
you see it
see
out
the
in front
vision.
of
The
you?
problem is half the vision is on the IL in a month. And again, like I don't want to be a hater, but this organization has driven me to the point where I have to be a hater.
I don't want to be a hater, but I have to.
I have to. It's my journalistic duty to be a hater.
All right. Well, Jack cools off over there from being a hater. We'll talk about our next series, but before that, our last break. Rockies D-backs in Arizona. And this was like kind of a good series.
This was hilarious.
Yeah, this was hilarious. So, another day, another blowout against the Rockies. Diamondbacks win 8-0. Burns made them look like a little league team, tossing 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts while only allowing 2 hits, and those were the only 2 Rockies hits in this game. Gabby Moreno had a big day, going 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored, and both Gino Suarez and Geraldo Perdomo had 3 RBIs each. But in game 2, game of the weekend, I was thinking maybe Braves Red Sox, that walk off by the Sox
Game
was,
of the
but
year. What are you
game of the year,
talking
fucking
about?
game of the year. Rockies win 14-12. We'd be here for an hour if I went through every run. There were 21 of them after 6 innings. Jordan Beck, Hunter Goodman, Ezekiel Tovar, Kyle Farmer, and Jordan Beck again homered for the Rockies. And Alec Thomas and Gino Suarez homered for the D-backs. Got to give the Rockies credit here. Battling, just taking punches, punching back against a division rival on the road. They scored 8 runs from the 6th inning on and held on to the win. Tovar and Beck combined to go 8 for 11 with 3 dingers, 5 RBIs, and 6 runs scored. Zach Gallen did not have a fun day at the ballpark. 5 innings, 6 earned. Jack, his ERA is 5.14.
I know.
Sonny
It
Gray or Zach
sucks.
Gallen? Remember that?
I'm a Gallon truther, but Beck, Goodman, Tovar, and Farmer took him deep. This guy, like, I'm just looking for the funniest individual line from this game, and Gallon might be the one. 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 4 homers allowed. Other ones that jump out: Jalen Beeks, 2/3 of an inning, 4 runs, 2 hits, and 3 walks issued. Ryan Thompson, 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 3 runs. Herman Marquez was pretty funny too. 3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, and 1 punch out. And then Angel Chavilli, inning, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 homers allowed. But then offensively, you've got multi hit days literally everywhere. Hunter Goodman was 3 for 6 with 4 RBIs. Kyle Farmer was 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Jordan Beck was 3 for 5 with 4 runs scored and 3 RBIs. Ezekiel Tovar was 5 for 6 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Like there were so many funny lines here. It was hard for me to take in this contest.
And then game 3, it finished 1-0. It was Ketel Marte opened the score with a monster blast off a 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Chase Dollander, and that was it. Merrill Kelly put the Rockies in a blender, tossing 7 shutty while only allowing 1 hit and striking out 11. Now, Dollander, his stuff looks good. I mean, he went 4 2/3. He only allowed 1 run and 3 hits and struck out 6. But when your team doesn't score, you have no chance, of winning here. The Diamondbacks needed to sweep this series, but the fact that the Rockies got one, I want to shout out Jordan Beck. I mean, in an abysmal Rockies lineup where nobody is hitting, Tovar's been hurt. It's good to see him back. Brenton Doyle is a good player, but he's known for his defense. He's not known for his bat. And now Hunter Goodman has been great at the catching position, relatively speaking, but Jordan Beck looks like a real player, and the Rockies are just searching who can be real players
He
for
looks like a
us.
real player for the next month or so. I wouldn't go as
Really?
far as to say Jordan Beck is a building block for the future, but
You don't
like
think so?
No, I don't think so. It's
Really?
tough.
He looks good. I mean, I don't know much about his minor league success or how he's graded out as a prospect. What I'm saying is I've been an enjoyer of Jordan Beck so far.
So far, it's been good. It's been good, but at the end of the day, he was not good in what 2024 last year in 55 games. He hit 188 with a 520 OPS. Like I gotta
Not ideal.
see more than 30 games.
I'm just saying, something to keep an eye on. Anything
Okay.
on the D backs? I mean, it was one of those series where
It was fun.
pitching
It
did the
was fun to
job.
see Burns shove.
Yeah,
That's my takeaway from this one. Like it was fun to see Burns look right, and then on Sunday too, it was fun to see Merrill Kelly look right in K11. He was just better than everybody in that Rocky lineup.
that's what I was saying.
That's how Merrill Kelly
It
is.
was just more talent, and when like what is this saying when um something outworks talent? What is that saying?
When hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
Yeah, that was hard work and talent is going to beat the
Yeah, but I don't
Rockies.
even know if like Merrill Kelly has more talent than some of the guys in this Rocky lineup. I think he
It
does,
felt
but
like it.
Kelly just grits his way through 7 innings of one hit ball sometimes.
Dominated them. Put them in a blender.
He's
Uh,
such a mixer and matcher. He's a joy. He plays chess.
Noted Team USA ace Merrill Kelly
Yeah,
from
unfortunately
last
can't
weekend.
run it back next year. They got that Skeens cat.
Yeah, he's all right. All right, let's move over to Mariners versus Padres. Game one. Mariners win 5-1. First pitch of the game went soaring into the right field seats, courtesy of J.P. Crawford. And of course, Rowdy Tellez got in on the action with a home run in the fourth. And then Cal Raleigh hit his 14th of the season in the sixth. Shout out young pitcher Logan Evans. 6 innings, 7 hits, no earned, 3 strikeouts. His ERA is down to 2.57. Move on to game two. Mariners win 4-1. Gavin Sheets opened the scoring with his sixth home run of the year, but that was all the Padres got. Roddy Tellez, Cal Raleigh, ring a bell? Both homered again. And this was Cal's 15th, tying him with Aaron Judge for the AL lead. Emerson Hancock was okay, 4 2/3, 6 hits, 1 run. But then the Mariners bullpen has been outrageously good. Shut it down. Padres wasted a great Pavetta start. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 7 punchies. His ERA is down to 2.86. Game three, Mariners sweep, win 6-1. Fernando Tatis Jr. opened the scoring with his 12th home run of the year, but that was it again. Randy Rosarina grabbed it back with his sixth home run of the year, and the fourth inning didn't stop there. Two more RBI hits from new Mariner Leody Taveras and Miles Mastrobuoni. And then they piled on two more runs after Yuki Matsui loaded the bases on RBI hits from Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh. And Brian Wu was a magician. 7 innings, efficient, 1 run ball, striking out five without a walk, lowering his ERA to 2.65. I am so glad I invested in this Mariners team. So glad. Because even a Mariners team that doesn't have Gilbert, it doesn't have Kirby, and it doesn't have Bryce Miller went into San Diego, where the Padres have been elite at home. They're a great team, but they've been one of the best teams in baseball, especially at home. And what do? You hit the freaking shit out of the ball and you pitch the freaking shit out of the ball. A series started by Evans, Hancock, and Wu, the Padres scored a combined 3 runs. And now, Evans gave them 6, Wu gave them 7, Hancock gave them 4 2/3. Huge series by this bullpen. Matt Brash is back. Andres Munoz is unconscious, but they have so many other arms that they can go to. This is not the Mariners of old. This Mariners team can hit. The bullpen is electric. They're doing this without what is to be known for the Mariners. All they have is a great starting rotation. No, no, no. This Mariners team is different, and I feel really confident that they're going to win this division. I know the Rangers are good, but the Mariners offense can bang with that Rangers offense. And knowing how good their pitching staff is, knowing how good their bullpen is, like the Rangers bullpen can't hold a candle to Seattle's bullpen.
No,
And the
but
Astros are just
right
solid.
now the rotation can. Right now the
Yes.
rotation can because they have two of the top 10 arms in baseball by ERA, in
Yes.
Eovaldi and in Malley. And Corbin's been a dog, and DeGrom looks like DeGrom.
Yes, that rotation could go toe to toe with them. That
Rotations,
rotation is better than them now, but
yes.
I think that the Mariners are like clearly the best team in this division, in my eyes.
I don't think it's clear, but I think the argument is there, and I would agree with you that the Mariners are the best team in the American League West right now. Do I think it's far and away? No, I don't. I think Texas has a spot at the table, but if you had to ask me right now who's the best team in the division, I'm giving you Seattle. I'll
Yeah.
give it to you. I see fewer flaws, especially with what's coming back. My takeaway from this series, Cal Raleigh is a tenth of a win off of being second in Major League Baseball in F4.
Mm.
Aaron Judge has a 4-win season already in 45 games, which is just nuts. Like, okay, put Judge aside. Next best, Pete Crow Armstrong and Bobby Witt Jr. are tied at 2.8 WAR. After that, Cal Raleigh, Shohei Ohtani, and Corbin Carroll are the
Mm.
three with 2.7 wins above replacement. F4. What a
Yeah, I
catcher,
agree.
a catcher by WRC plus. Aaron Judge, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Cal Raleigh. What,
Uh, uh, uh,
what? Best catcher in baseball. It's not freaking close. This guy might be a top 10 player in the game by the time we're done with this season. I'm drunk on Cal Raleigh.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I agree with you. I think at this point, Cal Raleigh is the best catcher in baseball. We just cannot forget about Will Smith and Wilson Contreras. Those guys are still awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
You mean William?
What did I say?
You
William
said Wilson.
Contreras. Correct. William Contreras. Again, there's you corrected me, but for good reason.
Sorry. I just want
William,
to clarify
no,
because
it's good.
Wilson's having a good year in St. Louis.
Playing a lot of first. William Contreras, I still think is as good of a catcher because like his bat has not been good, but this is a guy also who is elite defensively. Basically plays every day because when he's not catching, they need his bat in the lineup. So he's still there, but
Catcher war leaders right now. Cal Raleigh at 2.7, Will Smith at 1.7, Austin Wells at 1.2, William Contreras at 1.0.
yeah, he's
Cal
ultimately
Raleigh
way
is a
better start.
win better
Oh
than
yeah,
any other catcher in baseball right now, and we're 44 games in.
yeah. He is the best catcher in baseball right now. I'm just saying to have a full conversation. I'm not giving. I still think it's a debate. I still think it's a debate, but I'm with you. Right now, it's Cal's world, and we're just living in it.
Cool.
Let's go over to A's versus Giants. It used to be called the Battle of the Bay. Now it's the Battle of No City. What's it called? What should we name it?
I don't know. What's that highway that runs between San Francisco and Sacramento?
I don't know.
Let me pull up Apple Maps.
All right, well, you're doing that. Let me go over game one where the Giants win 9-1. Wilmer Flores opened the scoring with a laser beam grand slam, and that was all Logan Webb needed. 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks. ERA is down to 2.42. He's pitching some of the best baseball of his career right now. But Wilmer Flores added more anyway, just because he's awesome. Homering in the sixth, and then again in the eighth, and he now has 10 home runs on the year after a 3-dinger day. Game two, Giants win 1-0. Who do you think drove in the only run? Wilmer Flores. Obviously. A walk-off, bases-loaded walk in the 10th was the lone run in this game as both Landon Roop and Luis Severino dueled 6-inning shutouts. Giants lead the league in walk-off wins. And since 2013, this is a stat from at Big League Analysis, our guy Peyton who edits these shows. Make sure to go follow him on social media. Flores has 14 walk-offs, trailing only Bryce Harper and Josh Donaldson in that span. He is slashing 316, 409, 579 with a 988 OPS in high leverage situations. That's crazy. Game three, Giants sweep and win 3-2. Heliot Ramos opened the scoring with his 8th home run of the year, but in the fourth, Lawrence Butler grabbed the lead for the A's, driving in 2 on a single. But then in the 8th, Lamont Wade led it off with a triple, and then Patrick Bailey brought him home with a single up the middle, and then Heliot Ramos came up big again with an RBI single to take a 3-2 lead. Springs was great, Jeffrey Springs for the A's, and he's only allowed 4 earned runs over his last 24 and 2/3. But the Giants' magic won't run out. They sweep. Couple of walk-offs, come from behind wins. It's another weekend roundup where we're talking about magic.
I love Magic. By the way, it's I-80, the Battle of I-80, let's call it, between
Battle
San
of
Francisco and Sacramento.
not a great ring to it, but I could get behind it.
No, not good. You pass through Vallejo, which I think is where the Zodiac killer committed one of his murders, and then
Right.
Vacaville, which is wine country, and then Davis, which has a UC, and then all of a sudden you end up at Sutter Health Park in Sacktown.
Insect.
But the Giants have some stuff to them, like clearly. And Wilmer Flores might be the guy to break this 30 homer curse. He's got 10 at
Yeah,
this point. But I don't know. Like, it's funny they're doing all of this in spite of Willie Adames just not being good
I know,
yet.
which makes me so excited.
It makes
Right.
me so excited.
Another note, didn't happen like in this series because Jordan Hicks didn't pitch, but Jordan Hicks has been removed from the rotation, replaced with Hayden Birdsong. Now Hicks, isn't it over? Is it over, Jack?
Yes.
What right? This what he's been
He's a
trying to
reliever. He's an
do?
expensive
Yes.
reliever, and Hayden Birdsong is a good back end starting pitcher. I
Yeah.
think the Giants got better by making this move. And tell you what, that's why they hired Bob Melvin to make tough decisions. And they made a tough decision, but they made the right decision, moving Hicks to the pen. Remember how freaking good Hicks was as a bullpen
Yeah.
arm in St. Louis.
That's the thing.
That's
It's like
okay.
they're adding a legit bullpen arm by doing
To a,
this.
to a very good bullpen at this point.
One of the best bullpens in baseball. This team is so good. I love watching the Giants because they're never out of it ever. And you can tell that this whole team just has a buy-in where I don't care if we're down 10-0 in the ninth inning, we can score 11, right? Or they just take the lead and win and then shut it down with their bullpen. And it's good to see Ryan Walker kind of find his footing again. He got off to a really rough start, but he's had a couple consecutive good outings here. So, yeah, they're just one of the best teams in baseball, and they aren't afraid of everybody, and they're a joy to watch.
Dude, I mean, I'm just looking at what these guys have done. They obviously have used Kyle Harrison in some relief situations as well.
Who
Just
looks
running
good.
through, it looks good because
Yeah.
it's that low release, high carry fastball that's just disgusting. Their starting rotations are starting rotation, right? Logan Webb's amazing. Robbie Ray's been really good through 9 turns.
Logan Webb has been phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, like this is who
He's
he is.
so
It's
good.
every single freaking year he's going to be 200 innings at a mid twos.
I feel like he looks better this year. I don't know
He
what it is.
might.
I gotta go look really into the data to give you an actual takeaway of why he's better. But like when I'm watching him, I'm like, this looks like some of the best Logan Webb I've seen.
He's so easy to watch. He's fun to watch because he's so easy to watch. But you got that rotation. Ryan Walker has struggled, obviously some blow up outings, but he's got 7 saves so far this year. Camilo Doval, 21 and 2/3, 3 earned runs. Tyler Rogers, 21 and a third, 3 earned runs. Randy Rodriguez, my guy, 18 and 2/3, 2 runs, 27 punchouts, and 2 walks. Eric Miller, 14 and a third, 3 earned runs. Hayden Birdsong, 23 and a third, 6 earned runs. And then you got Kyle Harrison, 4 innings, a 1 hit, 1 run ball so far. This bullpen, I know you love the Twins. I know you love the Padres, the Giants for me.
I bet on the Giants over 79.5 wins. I've been freaking flying the
Okay, I
flag
don't
the whole time. The
care.
Giants are
I
still one
don't
of my
care.
guys.
Respect the bullpen.
I respect the
Oh,
bullpen. I
look at me. I'm
promise you.
Peter. I bet all the time. No, 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 no. Respect the bullpen.
I respect the bullpen. Let's
Okay.
move over to Angels versus Dodgers, the freeway series. The Angels swept the Dodgers at home. Angels win 6-2 game one. Known great three hitter, Yoan Moncada, got the scoring going with his third home run of the year, a 3-run shot, and then Zach Neto drove in two on a double in the fourth. And that was all the Angels needed because how about Jack Kohanowicz giving the Dodgers the business? 6 2/3, 5 hits, one earned, 5 Ks. Shohei did hit his league leading 16th home run of the year, but this was the Jackie K show. Dustin May wasn't terrible. 5 innings, 4 earned, 8 strikeouts. Game two, Angels win 11-9. Early fireworks as Kershaw's return did not go as planned. Definitely looked rusty, but Andy Paz had his back and rocked a 3-run home run to tie it at 3-3 after the first inning. But Taylor Ward homered in the third, and then Kike Hernandez grabbed it back with a home run of his own. And the Dodgers had a 7-5 lead after six, but the Angels rallied for five in the seventh, highlighted by a 3-run home run from Logan O'Hoppe. And the Dodgers, they clawed back, but a Matthew Lugo home run in the ninth was all she wrote. Kershaw, in his return, 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned, 2 strikeouts. If you're looking for a takeaway, be like, oh, is Clayton Kershaw going to be okay for the Dodgers? I do not care. I need to see way more before I make any sort of decision on a great like Clayton Kershaw. And Tyler Anderson, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned, but it doesn't matter. The Angels win. And then they won again, 6-4. Angels got out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning on home runs from Zach Neto and Taylor Ward. And then the Angels had a 4-1 lead going into the seventh, but Will Smith hit a laser beam 3-run home run to tie it. But that lead lasted about 5 minutes as Travis d'Arnaud hit his first home run of the year in the top of the eighth to take a 5-4 lead. Then the Angels tacked on another run in the ninth, and the game was over. Shout out Sean Anderson for the bullpen mastery. The Dodgers cooked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
I agree. You can't get swept by the Angels at home and for me to respect
Uh,
you ever again.
I'm not gonna say anything, but
Dodger fans also, this is our only time to make fun of you. So
no,
just let
you're
us make
fine.
fun of you.
Yeah, we're
You're
just gonna go
fine.
back to
Go on.
lauding you again. Dalton Rushing singing along to Mr. Rager when he's walking up in a clutch moment was so cold.
No, can we talk about the Angels for a second? How about Neto?
Yeah,
How about
yeah,
Ward? How about d'Arnaud?
sure. Yeah, I mean they were swinging it. Shout out the fellas in Anaheim. That's
Shout out
great.
Jackie K.
Yeah, yeah. Kohanowitz, 5 punch outs in that start. Like that might be his career high.
Career high.
Good for him. Good for
Usually has
Jackie K.
usually has 5 strikeouts in a month.
I know. Uh, I was just gonna say it was really fun to watch Clayton Kershaw warm up, and then when he got into the ball game, I didn't have all the fun in the world watching Clayton Kershaw. And I hope he's just 2 tune-up starts away from being that guy that's just going to will his way to a 2.4 ERA because that's what he does when he's on the mound. I worry about Kershaw at this point because he's 38 years old.
I'm not
He's
worried.
coming off of a knee and toe. Okay, I'm not going to do this. How about them
You know
Angels, man?
why?
How about them Halos?
No, you know why? Remember when I was worried about DeGrom to start? Like, look, I mean, I was just such a moron.
He's
Right?
fine. It
Obviously,
was
he's fine.
just so tough
Kershaw,
because
it's
everybody
gonna.
was watching.
No,
Everybody was
I know,
watching.
but it's gonna be just a couple of starts, right? He's not throwing hard. So when he's throwing 89 to 90, and his command isn't impeccable like it normally is, he's gonna get destroyed. The thing is with Kershaw, he can place anything wherever he wants to when he's on, and even with diminished stuff, even a couple of years ago, I mean, he's pitching to a mid twos, right? He can still maybe not do that, but he pitch to a low threes, absolutely. So again, he just ran into the buzzsaw that is the Angels. Is it really his fault when you're taking on a team like the Angels at this point?
He's just Clayton Kershaw, man. Like his career ERA went from 2.50 to 2.51, and I just don't like seeing it go
I
up.
don't like that. I don't like that either.
I don't like it. Like I don't like seeing his ERA go up. But okay, you know what? Whatever.
Zach Neto is a real the
He's real.
Angels.
He's
He's
real. Neto is real. Ohapi is real. Like they have two legit players here.
I'm not willing to say that about Ohapi. And the reason for it, defense. Like he can swing it, but his defense is not there yet, and he's not a good enough hitter for me to say I'm okay with bad defense behind the plate.
He's
Like
got 10
catching,
homers and a 774 OPS in 38 games.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. But when you have really bad defense, 774 OPS, like again, all I'm saying is I'm not putting him in the same boat as Neto. I think
Yeah.
he's a good player. I think if he improves on defense, he's a real catcher. But until then, I'm hesitant about putting him in the same conversation as Neto. And
Yeah.
really, what the point I'm trying to make is how real I think Neto is. Right? It's not more of an indictment on Ohapi. It's more like I don't want to just put other guys in the Neto bucket when Neto deserves to be in a place of his own right now in the Angels.
Yeah.
Actually, Angels fans, let us know in the comment section below. What do you think about that take? You agree more with Jack? You think, oh no, Ohapi's right there with him? Or do you think there's a different tier? Let us know in the comment section below. All right, let's move over to our last series. And unfortunately, recording during Sunday Night Baseball, wasn't able to watch this Yankees Mets game on Sunday Night Baseball, but that's okay. Hopefully, I can catch the end. It's 8:53 p.m. Eastern. What are we looking at? 2-2 in the sixth. Perfect. I get to watch the rest. Game one: Yankees win 6-2, and Juan Soto's return to the Bronx. Yankee fans turned their backs on Juan Soto, booed him relentlessly. Not
Yeah,
really
that was
surprising.
sick. I hope they feel great about that.
Yeah, Yankee fans, what are you going to do? And it continued after getting a 4-0 lead after 3 innings because Tyler McGill just lost it in the third, surrendering 4 walks, scattering hits, and those 4 runs were all the Yankees needed to bring this one home. And then McGill was removed after the third was finished. His ERA rose to 3.74. Rodon also dealt with command issues, but he only allowed 2 hits and 1 earned while striking out 5, lowering his ERA to 3.17. Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt had great days, combining to go 5 for 9 with 3 runs and 2 RBIs. Excuse me. Move on to game 2. Mets get revenge, winning 3-2. DJ LeMahieu opened the scoring with a 333-foot home run into the short porch. Did make me laugh. Welcome back, DJ. Mets grabbed a 2-1 lead in the fourth before Cody Bellinger tied it up with his 4th home run of the year. But Lindor's sac fly in the ninth was the deciding factor. Clark Schmidt, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, 5 Ks. Griffin Canning, again, solid, 5 1/3, 2 earns, 4 Ks. His ERA is still 2.47. Let's see how in this Yankees Mets game, how did these runs come through? Cody Bellinger doubled, 2-run double to start it off in the first, and then Jeff McNeil singled on a sharp line drive to center fielder Trent Grisham, scoring the Mets' first run, and then Max Fried led in a wild pitch in the fifth, and Jeff McNeil scored. It is now 2-2. Max Fried's pitching pretty well, 5 2/3, 8 Ks. David Peterson, also 5 innings of 1 earned run ball, 2 runs allowed, though. Any thoughts on the first 2 games of the series? Do you have any thoughts
Yeah,
on
how
the
do you
Juan
feel
Soto
about Soto?
situation?
Part of me is like, hey, maybe Yankee fans should thank Juan Soto for helping them get to a World Series, but I guess not.
So you know me. How many times have I said I miss Juan Soto so much? How many times have I said, I loved watching him?
Yeah, a
I was
lot.
the best operator of an at bat. You didn't hear me say screw Soto. I hate him.
No, ever,
Not once.
ever. I was just wondering where all that rhetoric came from.
Well, of course, when you choose the Mets over the Yankees, people are going to get pissed. It is what it is. Does it make a lot of sense? Not really, but more often than not, fans don't make any sense. Does it make sense for a fan in May when their team is down 1-0 in the third inning be pissed at their TV? Obviously not. But fans are fans, and fans are going to be fans. So the Yankees felt slighted. They because of course, they felt that Soto didn't pick them. And not only did he not pick them, he went to the team in the other borough. And that hurts. And Yankee fans are going to show they're hurt. They're not going to sit there crying. They're going to do things like turn their backs and boo him relentlessly. Does it make a lot of sense? No. Do things that fans do make sense most of the time? No, either. So what I do want to say is that people are getting on Yankee fans. You only had Juan Soto for a year. Like, why are you acting like that? Everybody relax. It was kind of funny. They turned their backs on him. They booed him.
You were
It's
there.
fine.
You were sitting out there,
No, I actually wasn't able to catch a game this series. I checked ticket prices and they were just insane. I was like, I'll just watch it on my TV,
but use game time.
but use game time. Um, so yeah, like, are Yankee fans dumb? Sure. Anybody listening? Are you
Can
dumb
we
sometimes when you
clip
watch your own
that?
team? Yes.
Can we clip that? Can somebody tweet me
Just
that video?
just read that three
Just the,
second.
the
Are
three
Yankee
seconds. Are
fans
Yankee
dumb?
fans
Yes.
dumb? Sure. Yeah, just get me that. Somebody tweet that at me.
Just make it a like a TikTok like edit like when then it gets into like a rap song and then it's just like a bunch of things going on.
Yes.
No. So yeah, I mean I'm sure you have a curmudgeon take about Yankee fans and how much they suck and how they should be thankful that Juan Soto was on the team, but
Just
nobody's
so
rational
negative.
here.
They're just so negative.
Yeah. We're New Yorkers. Damn right we're negative. We're pessimistic. We are. We are what we are. Um so yeah, we're Yankee fans annoying and weird about it? Yeah. Does it matter? No, not at all. They're having fun with him. They're having fun with him. Give me your curmudgeon take. Do you have one?
No, I think they were pissed for no reason. I think they should be
Not for
thanking Juan
no
Soto.
reason. You can
I
understand.
understand that he picked the other borough, but he picked the other borough for okay, you know what? They have 765 million reasons why. Like that's the deal.
It also just sucks. And I can't speak for all Yankee fans. I can only talk for myself.
It sucks to see the Mets be the best team in the National League right now, or the second best, or the
No,
third
it
best.
nothing to do with that. Some Yankee fans like hate the Mets. I've never hated the Mets. I go to 10 Mets games a year. My friends are Mets fans. Like, I have a good time. I have nothing against the Mets. I've never felt like that rivalry. It's much more with the Red Sox and the Orioles and the Rays and the Blue Jays. So, like, that for me, I never hated the Mets, right? So, the fact that he went there, it just hurts because, again, speaking for myself, I put my head on the pillow every night dreaming about an outfield with Soto and Judge in it with Dominguez forever. Like, that was my dream. And
Yeah.
my dream got taken away. So I'm more sad just because I loved Juan Soto so much. I loved him so much. And to see him get taken away, I'm sad. And you know what? If I was in those right field bleachers, I would have done the same thing. Would I have meant it? No. Would I have just been in the moment? Of course. Just like every fan would. Is everybody giving the Yankees fans a hard time? Everybody relax. It's not a big deal.
Cody Bellinger's starting to heat up. I want a
He
victory
better.
lap a little bit on that one.
He better. I'm happy for it. I'm here for it. Define heating up,
Bellinger's
though.
he's on what? He's on a 12-game hitting streak right now.
12 game on base streak, I think, or maybe it's a streak.
Let me see. All player streaks. Um, let's see. Da, da, da. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. Please hold.
Please hold. Well, in the meantime,
Please
like,
hold.
I mean, he's got a 755 OPS. Like, you know,
Cody Bellinger has a 12-game hitting streak.
it's awesome. I'm here for it. Just hopefully it's like this is in his hot streak and then he gets cold again, right? Hopefully
I'm
this just
fired up. The war's over 0 now. That's sick.
Parker Meadows is going to catch him when he comes back.
Sad. Although Parker Meadows might not have a job. Javier
Yeah, I
Baez
know.
is balling.
Anything else before we say goodbye?
No, I think that's it. We'll go a little bit deeper into the Jose Alvarado suspension, into Brandon Hyde being fired, and a couple other things from the weekend on tomorrow's show.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for that one. And if you enjoyed this weekend roundup, make sure leave a rate and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Best way to support without spending a dime, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on YouTube. And of course, if you want to join the best baseball group chat in the world, link is in our description to join the Discord. And make sure to go get yourself some Just Baseball merch as well. I'm rocking the hat. As always, Jack's rocking nothing. Don't be like Jack. Appreciate everybody listening. For Jack McMullen, I'm Peter Apple. We will see you tomorrow. With that, thank you, everybody.